I remember when Gaia arrived. She was born from the swirling arms of my celestial nursery, emerging like a whispered promise. Quiet at first, but radiant with potential. While the other planets spun and took shape around me, it was her, blue, breathing, alive. She captured my eternal gaze. She was no ordinary world. She was soul-bearing, a mirror to the mystery within me, my Gaia. She formed slowly, patiently, gathering stardust and time, weaving them into mountains, oceans, forests, and skies. Where other planets grew cold or barren, she opened herself to life, welcoming it like a mother drawn to a child not yet born. She was strength without violence, beauty without pride. And though she made no sound in the vacuum of space, I heard her always. Her pulse matched mine. Her orbit wasn't just mathematical, it was intimate, deliberate. She stayed close, and I kept her warm. 2 moons accompanied her, olden companions sent from deeper places. Selene, the softer of the two, was cool and luminous, her surface kissed by mystery, and Helios, bold, jagged, brimming with kinetic fire. For ages they circled her in perfect harmony, drawn to her stillness and each other's contrast. I watched them fall in love. Their gravitational waltz became something more, closer, tighter, until proximity turned into conversation, and then into longing. They did not speak in words, but I heard it just the same. We orbit not just to protect, Selene whispered, her voice woven in silver. We orbit because we are incomplete without one another. Then let us merge, Helio answered, and become whole for her and for us. Their union was a moment of rare cosmic tenderness. I dimmed my light to honor it. Selene turned, her silver light trembling. I will guard her nights, but what of her darkness within? Who will soothe the fear she hides from the sun? Helios flared, his fire restless. Then I will burn in her tides. I will stir her seas, so her children will never forget the pull of the heavens. their voices wove together. We will become her witness, her compass, her eternal companion. As they fused, the heavens lit up with a burst of violet and gold, a silent symphony that echoed across systems. From their union, a new moon was born, Luna. I will never turn away from her face. Let my locked gaze remind her children they are never alone in the night. I will stir her seas, shape her nights, and mark her seasons. Her children will look to me to know when to sow and when to harvest, when to mourn and when to rejoice. Through me, they will learn rhythm, the heartbeat of the heavens. Neither fierce as Helios nor as soft as Selene, but the balance of both. She would remain forever loyal to Gaia, steady and strong, reflecting my light, even when Gaia turned her face away. But my love for Gaia only deepened. Her resilience stunned me. Even when fires swept across her continents, when ice sank its teeth deep into her. And then there were the asteroids, jealous emissaries from forgotten places. They struck her surface in acts of cosmic envy. But she endured. She always endured. And so I made a vow. No one would ever harm her again. I sent a warning to the celestial spheres, planets, moons, and wandering objects alike. If Gaia was touched again in violence, I would end it all. I would collapse my core, flare my wrath into the farthest reaches of the system. I would rather die in fire than watch her fall. The other worlds heard me. They responded not with defiance, but offerings. Each one sent its most precious life form to Gaia. 2 by 2, species paired and gifted, entrusted to her soil and waters. They saw what I saw, that Gaia was more than a planet. She was sanctuary. But most of all, she was hope. I gave light, she gave life. Together, we became a haven. My warmth stirred her winds, moved her seas. Her calm stilled the blaze within me. Beneath our gaze, forests climbed toward the sky. Oceans mirrored the heavens and life emerged, walking, swimming, flying. And among them, humans looked up and wondered. I watch them rise. I watch them reach. I watch them forget. They built empires and then erased them. They drew from the well of wisdom only to cast it aside. Their hunger mirrored the silence I once knew before I remembered my name. And then Gaia trembled. She didn't cry out, but I felt it. The forest started fading, the waters turning unpure, her pulse erratic. Deep in my corona, something shifted. I turned to her across the vastness. Gaia, I whispered. She heard me always. We have observed too long. If they are to be saved, we must understand them, not as distant watchers, but as one of them. Her voice laid across the light. Then we must become what we've never been. Mortal, finite, vulnerable. We'll walk among them, I said, but we must remember our names, even if we forget our purpose. Her light pulsed gently with solemn joy. Then let us fall together, she said. Let us become the storm and the shelter. And so we came here to the last place where stars gather before they fall. A sacred alcove veiled in the folds of space, the celestial amphitheater, hidden among collapsing light and cosmic echoes. It welcomed us with silence and memory. The stardust swirled around us like living mist spun from the void. Nebulae coiled through the darkness, glowing with ancient purpose. Above us, constellations pulsed with stories too old to name. The air, if it could be called that, droned with power drawn from creation's cradle. We stood in the center, Gaia and I. She cloaked in the soft greens and blues of the life she carried. Me, radiating the gold of 10 billion sunrises. Neither of us spoke. Not at first. The amphitheater didn't need words. It felt our decision. It responded in kind. Light swelling, time slowing, reality itself pausing to bear witness. When I turned to Gaia, I saw the strength that had shaped mountains and coaxed breath from soil. Her essence radiated calm, but her resolve ran deeper than roots of any tree. My voice met hers like flame meeting rain. Are you ready, I asked, to step into uncertainty? To shed eternity for a moment's heartbeat? She didn't waver. We must, for them and for all we protect. Our hands met, not with fire and thunder, but with memory and purpose. The amphitheater glowed around us, casting reflections across our forms as if the cosmos itself were painting our farewell. My voice faltered for the first time. What if we forget too much? What if we lose each other in their noise, their hunger, their wars? Gaia's light shimmered softer, like a mother's hand soothing a frightened child. Then we will find each other again. If not in 1,000 lives, then in the breath of a wind, or the warmth of a child's laughter. No forgetting is greater than love remembered. I turned my gaze downward, lowered my voice to a whisper meant for her alone. If they destroy us, if they scorn us, will it be worth it? Gaia's glow pulsed gently, unshaken. If even one remembers love, then yes. The constellations bent in silence, stars shifting as if to listen. Nebulae thrummed low, echoing like drums in the bones of time. Even the comets stilled, their long arcs pausing mid-flight. All of creation hushed, bearing witness to two immortals about to surrender their crowns. In that instant, everything, time, memory, meaning, it all compressed into a moment of pure stillness. She leaned into me, her voice barely more than a breeze. No matter what shape I take, I will always find you. And I will be your light, I said, even in the shadows. We stood together, suspended between what was and what would be. Not as gods, not as myths, but as wanderers stepping into a world in need. Not to rule, but to remember, to suffer, to laugh, to learn, to love, to live, to hope, to understand why these souls must be saved.